अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today we are going to continue the session of Japa Vidhi and discuss part 3. We'll just move ahead from the last session. And in the Narasimha Purana, starting off in the Narasimha Purana, it is mentioned that there are three types of japa or chanting: Vachika japa, Upamshu japa, and Manasika japa. And it is in this order. First comes Vachika, then higher than that is Upamshu, then higher than that is Manasika. So now there are two contradictions that Vrindavan Das Thakur says in Chaitanya Bhagavat, that one who chants loudly, he gets 100 times benefit of the merit that we get by chanting in the mind. Here we are mentioning that here in Hari Bhakti Vilas we are mentioning that the chanting in the mind is the best. Here there are two contradictions, and how to understand this, that Chaitanya Bhagavat is saying that chanting loudly is better than chanting in the mind. 100 times benefit you will get. And Hari Bhakti Vilas is saying that chanting in the mind is much better than chanting loudly. So here actually Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur is referring to Kirtan, and in Hari Bhakti Vilas they are saying about Japa. So both are correct, and no statement here is wrong. So here with Japa, which is mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas, we get our personal benefit. But when we are doing Kirtan, which is mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat of Vrindavan Das Thakur, that is others' benefit plus our personal benefit. So collective benefit is Kirtan, and personal benefit is Japa. So these statements are about two different things, and we must not try to prove that one is wrong and one is right. They are talking about two different topics, hence both are right. If you want to deliver yourself, Japa is better, and if you want to do collective deliverance of everybody, then you have to do loudly, that is Kirtan. And now we are describing the three types of japa, and Vachika japa is loud chanting with the clear pronunciation of words. Like for example, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. And Upamshu japa is sometimes loud and sometimes slow, and the words cannot be clearly discerned by anyone except us. For example, at one time you are saying slow, at one time you are saying with a low voice, and another time you are saying high voice, and people cannot understand what words you are saying at the when you are saying at lower voice, and what words you are saying when you are saying at higher voice. So words cannot be clearly discerned by anyone. And the next type of japa is Manasika japa, or chanting in mind and meditating on the meaning of each word, and nobody should hear except us. That is called Manasika japa. That we should have a mental contemplation of each and every syllable that we are chanting, and nobody should hear it. Even the person sitting next to us also should not hear our japa, and we should not hear their japa in Manasika japa. The meaning of the words are to be meditated upon while chanting. And Abhinnatvan Nama Namino is the principle here in chanting, and there is no difference between the Lord and the Lord's name. So Upamshu Japa, which is higher than Vachika Japa, gives 100 times benefit than Vachika Japa, and Manasika Japa, which is higher even than Upamshu, gives 1000 times benefit than Upamshu Japa. And in a scripture called Mantrarnava, it is mentioned that when the syllables are vibrated, they are like a ferocious animal that has woken up, and they purify our consciousness. So how to wake up the mantra, meaning that there is a Sushumna nerve in our body that has to allow the mantra to pass to the brain, and our nostrils has to be so perfect so that the nerve becomes activated. So at that time there should be no nose blockage, so that the nerve becomes activated, and the mantra can be woken up, and it purifies our consciousness like the ferocious animal. Once it wakes up, it astonishes everyone. So similarly, it should purify our consciousness, the mantra. And the left nostril, the moon, or rather which represents the moon, the left nostril, and the right nostril represents the sun, and the Sushumna nerve are together at the time of 3 sandhyas, which means that left nostril, right nostril, and the Sushumna nerve, which allows the mantra to pass through the brain to the brain, is together at the time of the 3 sandhyas. So if at all there are wrong thoughts coming to your mind, you can close the left nostril and breathe through the right nostril and chant. If you came from outside, which means from outside you came in at home and you want to chant, which means that you should do the vice versa. You should close the right nostril and breathe through the left one. And for Manasika Japa, there is no time and circumstance. You can do it at any time, any place. So if we are perfect in Manasika Japa, then Upamshu Japa becomes very easy. And Harinam Diksha devotees must do Satatam Kirtayanto, which means that they should always follow Manasika Japa, which is no time and circumstance for Manasika Japa. So you can just say at any time. So this is Satatam Kirtayanto that Harinam Diksha devotees should do. And people who know the glories of the holy name can only do this. And we should know the glories of the holy name of the Lord, then only we can do this always Satatam Kirtayantoma. That is the qualification required. That we should know that we are calling the Almighty Supreme Personality or Absolute Truth, and we should know the glories of the holy name to chant properly. So Manasika Japa gives you Prema Bhakti, Upamshu Japa gives material prosperity, and Vachika Japa destroys enemies. The Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, it destroys enemies. And we must take the adhikar or the right of glories, of knowing the glories of the holy name, and by mercy we can get this. So Haridas Thakur used to, the example is given of Haridas Thakur that he used to chant 3 lakh holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 lakh times, and out of that 1 lakh used to be Vachika, 1 lakh used to be Upamshu, and 1 lakh used to be Manasika Japa. Each Sandhya, which is the time of morning, afternoon and evening, they have 48 minutes, and one can chant at the time of the 3 sandhyas, because all the Sushumna nerve, the left nostril and the right nostril are together, again as we discussed previously, So then the mantra can pass through the brain, and the mantra can be woken up and thus it purifies our consciousness. Now here we are moving to the next section, which is the glories of the holy name. What do we get by chanting the holy name? In the Yajna Vargya Samhita, it is being mentioned that performance of all yajnas is not equal to even 1/16th part of Japa Yajna. And these glories that Yajna Vargya Samhita is saying, that all yajnas, the merit that the merit is not equal to even the 1/16th merit that you get by doing japa and all these merits are there to encourage us that japa is the best, so that we will do japa. And we should not be selfish for ourselves and see that okay, this is the merit and the merit is there, I want the fruit, that's why I am doing the chanting. We should understand that the Lord is being happy, and we are Lord is to be made happy, and we are calling his name. So the merit comes secondary. The merit will come definitely, no doubt, but that will be secondary. Our first aim is to please the Lord, like that. And japa is the way to satisfy the Lord best. The Lord is best satisfied when we chant japa, and the eternal place in Vaikunta is guaranteed if we are chanting proper japa. So yeah, as I said, bhukti and mukti comes secondary, and the main aim is to please the Lord, and we are not supposed to get carried away by these things that are mentioned, that oh, if I do chanting, then I will get much more than I do when I perform yajnas. 1/16th of merit of yajnas only, 1/16th of the merit of japa only equals the merit of yajnas. So oh no, let me perform japa, then I will get all the merits. No, that's not the way that we are supposed to think. We are supposed to think that the Lord is being happy, and after pleasing the spiritual master and giving charity and taking permission from the spiritual master, we can start chanting at a good auspicious moment, and the mind is naturally peaceful after this thing, and we can take bath early, offer sun argya or offer argya to Krishna, and perform achman and vow to chant properly according to some rules and regulations. We should take sankalpa at that time while performing achman, and while taking achman we can chant 3 or 12 names, that is Keshavaya Namaha, Narayanaya Namaha, Madhavaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. We can chant all those 12 names where we put tilak in all different places of the body. So those 12 names we can say, or else we can say only 3 names, Keshavaya Namaha, Narayanaya Namaha, Madhavaya Namaha. So chanting properly, the desire comes from sadhu sangha. The desire is very important. I think I mentioned this even the last class also, if I am not wrong. And there is no instruction that can help you if you do not desire to chant. If there is no desire in your heart, ki I want to please the Lord, I want to chant the holy name, then chanting properly will not happen. If you are doing it as a burden, then you will not get the proper way, the proper fruits. The perfection won't come rather. So chanting must be a part of worship to the deities, and we must fully surrender, thinking of ourselves that I, as a servant and with the heart and devotion, that I am a servant, I am small, God is great, I am small and I am servant of God. This identity should be there, and we must think like this, and we should chant as a part of daily worship to the Lord. Now we have to serve deities even in the spiritual world also, and we should not see the difference between the name and the deity, because abhinnatvan nama namino, the name and the person who has the name, that is Lord and the Lord's name, are not different. So after chanting we should again offer argya and flowers to the Lord, and offer prayers then obeisances, then take Charanamrita. That is the reason why in many temples this is followed, that after chanting is done, Charanamrita is distributed to everyone after a few steps, and one should offer apologies to the Lord for any mistakes that he had committed by saying Shamaswame, please forgive me, to the Lord. And one should then put the Lord in the heart and offer articles mentally, and be grateful that one chanted the holy name of the Lord. One got the opportunity to chant, because there are many people who are so fallen that they do not get the chance to even utter the name of the Lord. So we have got that chance today, so we should be grateful. And one should sit facing east, holding and sitting on kusha grass, and chant 100 or 1,000 times the mantra, and one can face the Lord and chant also if one has a problem in finding out directions and facing the sun. This is a general instruction. And sun, moon, guru, cow, ghee lamp, Lord, brahmanas, they can be looked at while chanting. So inauspicious things we should not look, but auspicious things we can look, like the things that mentioned just now, and that is a general thing. And one should chant not too fast, not too slow. So that is the reason why we are advised to chant Manasika Japa, because medium speed can be different for one person and different for the other person. Hence, to avoid confusion, because if we chant loudly, then other people who are hearing, they might get disturbed, because for them our speed may be too fast, and for us their speed may be slow. So that is why one should chant not too fast, not too slow. And now coming to Uttam Adhikari devotees, the first class devotees, for them what are the instructions? So one should bathe in the morning, worship the Lord, sit and chant till afternoon. One should take bath again and then continue chanting. Then we should train ourselves to do this, then only this thing will come. And we should continue till evening, and we should take bath. Then we should serve the Lord again, the archanam, chanting and all. And one should take the meal only when the stars come up in the sky and on the floor also. And one should sleep on the bed or on the bare floor, then wake up at midnight, take bath, do achman, and start chanting for the next day. So this is a very tough thing to do, especially in this Kali Yuga. But then those who are trained, those who are fortunate, they get this opportunity. And this procedure has to be followed every day, otherwise there will be no perfection. After doing the rounds, one can do pranayam and look at the sun. Then one should worship the Lord. And for Parayanam, lectures can be heard and kirtans also can be heard. And one should understand that the body is yantra or instrument given by Krishna to serve him, and one should not misuse this body recklessly and live an animalistic life. Hence, rather one should try to practice austerity and try to do japa and meditate on the Supreme Lord every time, every moment. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra was received from Brahma to Narada, and Brahma got it from Narayana himself, and that is how this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is coming, and it has reached us, and this is mentioned in Narada Pancharatra. So we should all serve the Lord properly by chanting the holy names of the Lord, and this is the only way by which we can liberate ourselves in this age of Kali. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.